is Erik the House Fankhouser here, 4 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia contest. Things are going pretty good with the diet and training. 4 weeks out, it's definitely pretty tough, man.
Come on, big lift. Tight, focus on that back.
Right now, I've changed up a ton of different things in my diet, in my training, with my posing. Things are getting better, but a lot of times when you're on a diet for a long time, you kind of get stuck in a plateau and things don't change. So I found myself kind of hitting a plateau right around 4 weeks out. So I definitely had to change things up, and a few of the things that I'm going to talk about that I changed are things that that everyone should kind of change. You find yourself when you're dieting that you're just eating the same things, or you find yourself training and you're always training the same, and you go into the gym, say on Monday you're always doing chest, and then you're doing back, and then you're doing arms. And when you find that you've been doing that for months and months on end, that you kind of stop seeing results. So one of the things that I do when I find myself in a rut like that and I'm not getting any progression or changing, that I change things up dramatically. And one of the major things that I changed up at this point with my training is I started to do a whole bunch of giant sets. Giant sets are great, especially when you're in season and you're cutting down for a show, because it keeps your heart rate up while you're working out, keeps your pace up. A lot of the times when you're training down for a show and you're getting closer, you want to try lifting as heavy as possible, but you got to keep the pace up. Sometimes when you're resting, you find yourself just going in la la land, and I found that when you're doing giant sets, you really don't get time to even think. You just keep moving and moving and moving and moving. So it's a great way to change your training up. So I usually pick like 4 or 5 different exercises and just go at them straight with no breaks in between, and then take a break at the end and roll through that about 3 different times. So for instance, on back I would pick like deadlifts, and then I would do a row, then I would do maybe some chins, some dumbbell pullovers, and then maybe some back extensions, something like that, just to keep the pace going. Take maybe a 2-minute break after I complete all of those exercises, and then roll back through it. And I usually do that around 3 different times. So that gives you about 15 working sets there if you do it like that. And then also it's not that it's cardio, but it keeps your heart rate up, so it helps with burning some fat there also. So that's one of the things that I've added this week, and I usually do add that as I get closer to the show, and I find they become very effective, and it kind of gives you a little bit of spice when you've hit a plateau. Since I've kind of plateaued with my dieting, one thing I've changed is I was doing just high and low days. I threw my medium day back in. I started throwing some more fat back in. I took my fat out last week, and I found that it kind of put me at a plateau. So now that I threw some more back in, actually been eating a little bit of peanut butter here and there, or some egg yolks, just to stimulate some fat burning. I figure that if you're not eating any fat, your body's gonna maintain fat after a while, so sometimes you got to throw some fuel in the fire to get the fire burning. So I started throwing it back in this week, and it it's actually helped out a little bit. With my cardio, I mean, I've been doing cardio for a long time. I mean, I've been dieting over 8 months straight now, so my body's become very efficient at cardio. I did up my cardio to 2 hours now at this point, and hopefully I won't have to go any higher than that. I've been doing 3 sessions. I've been trying to go a half hour in the morning, an hour after training, and then a half hour in the evening. But sometimes I'll do 45-minute sessions, just depending on what my schedule looks like. But I've been getting 2 hours a day, and no matter what at this point. One of the biggest things that I've changed in my cardio, instead of just keeping it at a constant pace, I've been doing a lot of interval training. And I found that with the interval training, you can burn a lot more calories, get your heart rate up a lot higher, and I feel that I burn more calories that way and burn more fat. Like I said, because my body's become very efficient at the cardio, you have to keep changing it up. And another thing that I have done with my cardio is I've been doing some cross training, so maybe I'll go like 10 minutes on a treadmill, 10 minutes on an elliptical, 10 minutes on a stepper, 10 minutes on a bike. I'm always changing it, just as long as you're getting that total time in. One of the big things with the cross training is you don't want to take any breaks in between the different pieces of the machine that you jump on, so you just want to go to machine if you do try to do that type of cardio. Hopefully these little adjustments that I've made this past week will help me get that little bit of fat left that's on my body off, and will come in ripped for the Olympia. Alright guys, stay posted, and we'll be talking to you soon.